Zohran Mamdani's win in the Democratic primary for New York City's mayor has elites in full-blown panic mode over what he just revealed.
What's your early read on how this is resonating throughout the party?
I think there's definitely a bit of a panic about last night.
It's horrific, to be honest with you.
I don't want to go here, but Gotham. Have you seen what Batman is up against in Gotham and what the guy running for mayor is up against? They're taking Wall Streeters and make him walk out onto the ice. I mean, There is a class warfare.
The new mayor, potentially, of New York is going to freeze the rents and everybody eats for free, so they don't have to worry.
Really?
Yeah.
But how about the rich?
No.
Do they get shot?
No, yes.
A Republican congressman is now even calling for him to be deported, even though he's a U.S. citizen, saying he'll destroy the great city of New York. So what does Mamdani want that's so dangerous? Does he want to go to war with another Middle Eastern country and another endless war? Does he want to rip away healthcare from millions of poor people? No, that's what Donald Trump and the Republican Party are doing right now. Mamdani wants to do the exact opposite.
We are on the brink of winning the city that we know that we deserve. A city that we can afford.
In fact, his whole campaign is about making New York City affordable for the average person. But that's not why elites are panicked. Elites are panicked because his campaign strikes at the very core of the whole system that keeps the rich and powerful, and they know that once people start seeing there's a better choice, they'll demand change. Throughout the campaign, much has been said about Mamdani being a democratic socialist. His whole platform, which includes free buses, free childcare, city-run grocery stores, and increasing taxes on the rich, reflects socialist values, and those values stand diametrically opposed to the values of capitalism, with its deeply held belief that absolutely everything should be run as a business for profit. And that's what's really making them lose their minds. Mamdani's victory just shattered the biggest lie of our time. For decades, we've been told there's no alternative, that markets are the best way to organize society, that human nature is naturally greedy and selfish, that if you want basic necessities like food, housing, and healthcare, you better be willing to pay for them, and if you can't, well, that's your problem. But Mamdani's platform completely demolishes that narrative. He's saying, what if we actually took care of each other? What if we built a city where everyone has what they need to live with dignity? And the response from the ruling class for even suggesting that? Pure terror.
Zohran Mamdani, a communist, pro-jihadi, insane person, is now the mayoral frontrunner in New York City.
Donald Trump called him a 100% communist lunatic because Mamdani believes poor people should have food, housing, and dignity. But the panic isn't limited to Republicans. Capitalist Democrats are also terrified. Larry Summers, the Ivy League blowhard and former Obama official who helped design the 2008 bank bailout, tweeted he was profoundly alarmed by Mamdani's win and begged him to embrace a market economy as the American ideal. Even the party's so-called leaders, New York Senator Chuck Schumer and Representative Hakeem Jeffries, have yet refused to endorse him. Why? Because they're all invested in the same rigged system. For years, the ruling class has told us that everything, healthcare, housing, education, even water, has to be a profit-making enterprise, that the market will solve all our problems if we just let it. But look around. How's that working out? Rent is so high that teachers and firefighters can't afford to live in the cities they serve. Parents are choosing between paying for groceries or their kids' health care. People are dying because they can't afford insulin. And in the richest country in the history of the world, 60% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. This is what happens when you treat basic human needs as business opportunities, and that's exactly what Mamdani is threatening to change. He's not just proposing policy, he's proposing a completely different way of thinking about what government is for. He's saying, what if we use public resources to meet public needs instead of padding private profits? What if the city ran grocery stores to make sure everyone could afford food instead of letting corporations jack up prices during a cost of living crisis? What if public transportation were free because getting to work shouldn't eat up the bulk of your paycheck? What if childcare was a human right because raising the next generation benefits all of us? This is the vision that has elites terrified, a world where human needs come before corporate profits. Because once people see that another way is possible, once they realize that we don't have to accept a system that leaves millions struggling while billionaires hoard wealth, they're going to start demanding that change everywhere. Mamdani didn't just win an election, he cracked the illusion. And the people who built their power on that illusion, they should be scared. Because the truth is out. Another world is possible, and it's closer than they want us to believe. For Notice News, I'm Andrew Springer.